Hello, true believers. Welcome to another episode of. Oh, there he is. Sorry, I don't know what did that. Welcome to another episode of Good Cinema Presents. And today we're talking about, unless you didn't get the hint from the definition of the first up, me and Jeff are going to be talking about Pulp Fiction, the 1994 Quentin Tarantino film that stars so many recognizable faces and actors and actresses that I don't think we'll just go over a few of them. It's got John Travolta in it, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Bruce Willis, Ving Rhames, Tim Roth, Amanda Plummer, Christopher Walken, Harvey Keitel. I could go on and on and on. But and also you'll see other actors in it. Like wait a minute, I know them, but they weren't really big then. Like you got Lamar, what's his name? He's the guy that was the voice of Jon Stewart on the Justice League animated series. Marvin, I shot Marvin in the face, man. Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette. It's just a lot of people. And I think it probably is a testament to when you say what kind of director, he's like a director that everybody wanted to work with. So it probably wasn't hard for him to get these actors to agree to do like a little tiny part.
Yeah, I think you got to really shine light on the fact that all of those names you just rattled off, every one of them, and credit to Quentin Tarantino, great director, his story, all that, dialogue-driven movie, but all of them knocked it out of the park with their performances too. All the characters were fantastic. Mr. Wolf, Christopher Walken's character is freaking hilarious. I mean, just hilarious, man.
I know. We'll get into that too. I have a clip of that. I don't know how much I can play. We got Nerdy Geek. Thanks, Nerdy, for the
What up, Nerdy?
Yeah, I got the 500. Thanks to Big Jeff here and all you other people out there. Shop Comics, Comic Vet, all these guys, and then I had another. And Boggs, I see your comment. I'll get Jeff. Jeff, would you mind sending him the link?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Adventurous Joe came up with this plan. Like I thought he was going to find me a copy of Captain America 117 for me to buy. Right? I thought, oh, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't think nothing else about it because, a lot of times you hear. I'm not saying that they wouldn't do it, but sometimes people say that, but then you have to wait until they actually find one and they have to call you. And then you have to get the money. You have to have the money. So I forgot about it. And he comes on Comic Vet show yesterday. And we were in the chat, weren't you, Jeff?
Yeah, I clipped it for you.
Okay, thanks, man. I don't want you to send that to me. And Joe caught me off guard because he's like him and Clip on Comics and C. Bizzle and the producer from Council of Comics. Here's Will. Let me finish the story. Hey, Will. And a couple of comics.
What's up, Will?
Wolf Tony. I'll pitch it and got me Captain America 117. I was very rarely speechless, but love you guys. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. We got Madam's here. Hey, Madam. You're welcome.
You know what's funny?
We're talking about Pulp Fiction, so if you want to come on, I sent you the link already. So
I wasn't even part of that whole thing, supposed because no one told me, but I was flabbergasted too. I was happy for Matt.
Well,
I was just a bystander.
Hey, man, it ain't easy getting 500 subscribers. It is not easy.
Dude, I'm at 934. I'm not even close to
You ask any YouTuber and they'll say getting the low numbers up to, a certain point to where you start gaining traction faster.
Yeah.
That first 100, that first 500, those are tough, man.
I'm struggling to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
You'll get there, man. We'll get you there.
Yep.
I don't think so. I don't even care.
I got an email from YouTube that said I was eligible to apply for partial monetization. I don't think I'm going to do any membership thing or anything, but because I don't really know what I could offer anybody except I would do so much content anyway. But I might do the emoji thing. And
The
if somebody
emoji
wants to
thing
give
would be
a super
cool.
chat, I'll
The
do that.
emoji thing, I'll talk to you about that, Matt, because the emoji thing I think would be good for you because you can do like Power Fist, you can do Conan, you can do Captain America,
Yeah, I
you
got to
can do
figure out
Jackson.
some little tiny ones to use. I've been working on some
Well,
ideas.
we'll talk. We'll talk.
All right.
I have some
Anyway,
ideas.
yeah, we're talking about Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I would show the trailer, but I think the trailer's got a lot of music in it.
Yes.
And we could watch it like if somebody wants to share it, we could watch it with the sound off or just pause it every now and then maybe.
Let me see if I
It's
can.
up to
I'll try to bring it up.
All right. Also, while Jeff's doing that, I want to remind you that this movie's not just a great movie; it's got a great soundtrack,
Mhm.
and it's like Quentin Tarantino just like would bring up some songs that like maybe you haven't heard in a while. Look at the track listing for this album. You got "Let's Stay Together," "Jungle Boogie." You got "The Son of a Preacher Man" by Dusty Springfield. Like
I'm
it's very
trying to think of the one where what's the one? Okay. The one where it's Travolta on the dance floor where he's like shuffling.
oh, that's "Never Can Tell" by Chuck Berry,
Okay. I was like, I couldn't think of what it was.
and that's like a deep cut. That's a deep cut by Chuck Berry. That's not like one
It'd be a fun movie to review on this show. I don't know if it's just me, but Saturday Night Fever.
I don't know. We'll try.
That one's crazy good.
Yeah, the winner of the 1994 Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah,
That's a big deal. I don't know if anybody knows that, but that's a very big deal.
Yeah, I was born in '94.
All right.
The clip's 3 minutes and 5 seconds, so let me know if you want me to kill it at some point.
The what? The trailer's 3 minutes and 5 seconds? That's a long trailer.
Yep. Well, we had a lot of information to convey.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
All
think
right.
of the.
I think we should be all right with no sound. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Quentin Tarantino might come after us, but that's okay.
I don't care. I'm not scared of him.
I'm scared of Marcellus Wallace.
Marcellus Wallace.
I want somebody.
All right, we're good.
Hiding
But you got the idea.
Man,
I'll get the idea.
Man, I wish Marcellus Wallace was Mace Windu. I wish he was the real Mace Windu. Be like, you are gonna do this to me.
So can we all three?
I think you're mixing Sam Jackson up with Ving Rhames, but
can we all three agree that this movie was a dialogue-driven movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
or at least a
really,
major part of it.
It's really a showcase of Quentin Tarantino's writing style. Especially he does that a lot, like Reservoir Dogs. You had Steve Buscemi doing that monologue talking about "Like a Virgin" by Madonna, which is hilarious. He does the thing about the tips, not tipping a waitress, and I think he really expanded on it in this one. And the thing, Tarantino didn't even go to film school.
That's insane.
He's a clerk at a video store.
He's a fan.
Yeah, and he just grew up watching all these movies as a kid, the Grindhouse films, the exploitation films of the 70s, all the movies, the blockbusters, everything. He was as they say in they're talking about like LeBron James or like Stephen Curry. They're like, they call him a student of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tarantino was. He was a student of the game.
Yep.
He was one of these guys, like, how you hear these stories about, like, when you got like a top tier like athlete and they watch all this film, like Tom Brady would watch hours and hours of film, looking at defenses, looking at opposing defenses and everything. It's the same thing to me. He's like studying, and if you're going to be good at anything, you have to study at it. It's like also in music. Alex Van Halen said he was a little bit older than Eddie, and he would Eddie would be he said he'd be sitting on the edge of the bed, and I'd be going on a date with a girl. I'd come back 5 hours later, he'd still be sitting in the same spot playing the guitar. So yeah, so he kind of was like self-taught in a way, I guess. And I kind of you got guys like him and Todd McFarlane. I call them self-made men or self-made people, and because they saw what they wanted to do, they were uncompromising, and they did it. That's why I always like look up to people like that.
I think what has a lot to do with people like that didn't necessarily have formal training or formal education is that they actually truly have a deep love for whatever art form that they're doing. Eddie loves the guitar and piano, and it's funny because Alex started out on the guitar and Eddie started out on the drums, and they said, "Hey, why don't we swap?"
Well, that was probably the best idea they ever had.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Also, like when I was younger, I didn't really get a lot of. There was like a subtle hints that references to movies from the 70s in this movie. There's a scene where, what I mean by that is like I think he was putting, he was throwing everything he could out, like anything he thought was cool from a movie from the 70s, like the part where Vincent walks into Marcellus's house and he's going to take Mia out to dinner while Marcellus is gone, and she's watching him on the surveillance camera. But then they cut to a scene where all you see is her mouth with her red lipstick on, talking into the microphone. You don't see her; you just see her from down here, right? And I was watching that this morning. I was like, wait, why does that look? Why does that seem familiar? And I said, oh no. You remember the movie The Warriors?
Yeah.
The lady disc jockey. Remember when she's like, this one goes out to the Warriors. Good luck.
Oh yeah.
And she just shows her from down here like a profile, right? And she's talking on the microphone. Same thing. So yeah.
Freaking love when they do stuff like that.
And it's just like, I like some of the. I found some promo shots for this film that I'd never seen before. I guess they were outtakes, like what they were going to use for the movie poster of Uma. Like you got her here with a gun, smoking, and her laying. And it's then you got this one.
I like that first one. That one's not that great. That one's pretty good.
And I found some behind the scenes pictures. Here they are shooting the twist scene. And there's a funny story about this. Uma Thurman said that when they were doing this scene, she was thinking to herself, she says, wow, where did John Travolta learn to dance like this?
Right.
And then she said, oh, wait, what am I saying? What the hell am I saying? He was in Saturday Night Fever. Of course, Staying Alive. He knows how to dance. And
so I don't know how old John Travolta was when he shot Pulp Fiction.
God,
but
he was young.
A lot of the people that saw the movie maybe didn't know John Travolta's history, and they were all like blown away at how he could cut a rug. You know what I mean?
He was 30.
He was only 30? No.
Yeah.
We'll have to look
no,
that up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
He was
40.
I think he might have been late 30s. He might have been late 30s.
He was 40.
At this point. I think he was late 30s at this point. I know that Samuel L. Jackson was in his 30s when he did this movie, because Samuel L. Jackson had some substance abuse problems early on in his career, and it kind of like stagnated his career early on, where he just had like bit parts in movies like Coming to America. But then when he got sober, he started getting more and more work, and then he got this movie right here, put him on the map to where everybody knew who he was. Because when that scene, when they go in that apartment, you can't take your eyes off of Sam Jackson. He's just punking these guys out, and the guy's trying to talk his way out. He said, my name's Pitt, and your ass ain't talking yourself out of it. He said, you ain't talking yourself out of the hole you dug yourself into, right?
You ain't talking yourself out of this shit.
And he just like punks him out the whole time. Like he's like the whole thing about him like asking if he could take a bite of his tasty burger and can I have a sip of your soda to wash down this. he's punking him out. It's like, you know what they say, like
he drank the whole drink.
Yeah,
that was like that scene.
It.
You hear it, it's like
he's making eye contact with him the whole time he's doing it too.
And it was gone. It's like, oh.
There's a guy that used to be in prison. I've seen his videos on TikTok, and he talks about like if you're in prison, it's like a prison mentality almost. Like, I'm going to take this from you, and there ain't shit you can do about it. I'm going to exert my dominance, and you know, and then like the whole part where like, and we'll get to Wikipedia in a minute. And it's like him and Vincent are synced up because when he starts saying, if you read the Bible, Brett, there's this verse I kind of got memorized for occasions like this. And when he starts talking, you see Vincent behind the guy pull his gun out and sit like this, like he's like, all right, this is go time now. Like, you know, these guys ain't then you know they're already in trouble when the guy's like trying to talk his way out, and he just pulls his gun out and just casually shoots the guy on the couch. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?" You know, so like at that point, he knew they were probably not going to make it. But I also like the little subtle references, like, I want you to tell a flock of seagulls. You tell the man, my man Vince, where you got the shit hit at, because he's got kind of a flock of seagulls, like his hair is kind of, and yeah, so. There's also, you know, interesting because, you know, the briefcase is almost a character in the movie in its own.
Yep.
The lore of the briefcase
comes on when he's like, "Are we happy?" He's, "Oh yeah, we happy." And you're like, "What is it? Drugs or money or?"
Are we happy?
It had like a yellow light to it.
Yeah, but there's a fan theory about this that is kind of interesting. Some people, because if you notice, when John Travolta is using the combination, it's 666.
Yep.
So when he pops up, we never see what's in it, but it's got like this gold shining light, and they're like, and then you see they think it could have been Marcellus Wallace's soul. He'd sold his soul to the devil, and these guys had it or something, and he was wanting to get it back because then because when you see Marcellus the first time, you don't see his face. We see the back of his neck, and he's got a Band-Aid on the back of his neck. And some people say they pulled his soul. I don't know if I know it's kind of a dumb. It sounds dumb when you start talking about it, but you know. Okay, let me get to Wikipedia and we'll talk some more. I'll try not to read it as much as I did last time because I was doing this for 30 minutes. Other day, and you see behind me, you see how my shelf is bare, all my stuff's gone. I woke up this morning because we packed it all up, or most of it, and I woke up this morning almost in a panic, like, oh shit, somebody broke in. Forgot that we packed it up. All right, this is a 1994 independent crime film written, directed by Quentin Tarantino from a story he conceived with Roger Avery. It tells four intertwining tales of crime and violence in Los Angeles. It stars John Travolta, and it probably resurrected his career. We'll get into that in a minute. Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, Tim Roth. I love Tim Roth. Ving Rhames, Uma Thurman, who I also love. The title refers to the Pulp magazines, the hard-boiled crime novels popular during the mid-20th century, known for their graphic violence and punchy dialogue. Tarantino wrote Pulp Fiction in 1992 and 93, incorporating scenes that Avery originally wrote for True Romance. Tarantino also wrote. Its plot occurs out of chronological order. The film is also self-referential from its opening moments, beginning with a title card that gives two dictionary definitions of pulp. Considerable screen time is devoted to monologues, casual conversations with eclectic dialogue, revealing each character's perspectives on several subjects. And the film features an iconic combination of humor and strong violence. TriStar Pictures reportedly turned down the script as too demented, but Miramax Films co-chairman and Hollywood's devil, in my opinion, Harvey Weinstein, was enthralled. However, the film became the first that Miramax Films fully financed. So this movie put Miramax, unfortunately, on the map, which is unfortunate because Harvey Weinstein is a scumbag. Pulp Fiction won the Palme d'Or at the 1994 Cannes Film Festival in France and was a major critical and commercial success. It was nominated for 7 awards at the 67th Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and won Best Original Screenplay. Travolta, Jackson, and Thurman were nominated for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress, respectively. As a result of this film's success, Travolta's career was reinvigorated. And we could talk about that in a minute because Travolta came out white hot in the 70s, right? He starred in a very popular sitcom called Welcome Back, Kotter. And then he got one of the lead roles in Grease. And I mean, if anybody, unless you've been around a rock for the last 50 years, Grease was freaking huge, right? It was like one of the biggest movies of the 70s. And then he was also in Saturday Night Fever, which Will brought up a minute ago. And so he was on a hot streak. And then he made Staying Alive, which was a big flop. And then he made another movie called Perfect with Jamie Lee Curtis, which didn't really go anywhere. He did do a good movie with Brian De Palma called Blowout, which is, if you've never seen the movie Blowout, starring John, you have to see this movie. Blowout is about this guy's like a sound guy that records sounds for Hollywood movies, and he witnesses a murder, a political assassination, and then people find out he's got this footage, and they go after it. It's a really great movie. If you've never seen it, it's a Brian De Palma film. Brilliant freaking movie. But anyway, he had a couple of bad movies come out, bad choices he made. And, his star kind of wasn't shining as bright. I mean, for God's sakes, he started he was in movies like Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking Too.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh.
And so he really went down. And then when Tarantino, when he was writing this character, I think he thought Vincent Vega, that John Travolta would be perfect for this role because he loved him in that movie Blowout that I was telling you about. And so, yeah, and like after this, what John Travolta did, all these movies like what? Phenomenon, Face Off, and started doing all these blockbuster Hollywood movies and or blockbuster action films. And really, rejuvenated his career. And then he also was able to manage to talk people like Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis probably didn't get paid. Bruce Willis was used to making some big paychecks, and I'm sure he'd probably do this movie for a lot less just because he saw, when he's heard the script and everything, he's like, oh yeah. But see, when you're that talented though, and people just see how talented it is by just looking at like what the screenplay was, they're like, yeah, sign me up right now. And of course, people like Harvey Keitel and Tim Roth are in it because they already knew. Also, Steve Buscemi's in it in a little minor role as the waiter dressed as Buddy Holly. And a lot of people say this movie is regarded as Tarantino's magnum opus. Particular praise for its screenwriting, self-reflexivity, unconventional structure, and extensive homage and pastiche have led critics to describe it as a touchstone of postmodern film. It is often considered a cultural watershed, influencing films and other media that adopted elements of its style. The cast was also widely praised, with Travolta, Thurman, and Jackson earning high acclaim. In 2008, Entertainment Weekly named it the best film since 1983, and it has appeared on many critics' lists of the greatest films ever made. In 2013, Pulp Fiction was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Now we'll go to it's broken up in the chapters. The prologue is the diner where we see Tim Roth and Amanda Plummer having this casual conversation, and then you realize these two are like stick-up men and women. They're like Bonnie and Clyde, and you realize, oh no, shit, they're not just eating this diner, they're going to rob it. So it has one of the coolest intros ever, where she's like, if anybody effing moves, I'm going to execute every last MF and one of you. And then it goes into the prelude to Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife. And then we go to Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife. And then there's a prelude to the Gold Watch flashback. And then we go into the Gold Watch segment. And then the Bonnie situation, the epilogue. We start at the diner and we end at the diner. If the seven sequences in the film begins with a diner robbery staged by a couple, then begins a shift from one storyline to another before returning to the diner for the conclusion. There are 7 narrative sequences. The 3 primary storylines are preceded by intertitles. If the 7 sequences were ordered chronologically, they would run 4A, 2, 6, 1, 7, 3, 4B, and 5. Sequences 1 and 7 partially overlap and are presented from different points of view, as do sequences 2 and 6. According to Philip Parker, the structural form is an episodic narrative with circular events adding a beginning, an end, and allowing references to elements of each separate episode to be made throughout the narrative. Other analysts describe the structure as a circular narrative.
The way he did that, the time jumping and the interweaving of the different plot lines that intersect at different spots.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't think that's easy to do and communicate clearly, to the audience. But he did it masterfully. Like, none of it. The first time I saw it in the movie theater, I still remember, I was not confused by any of it. I knew where it was, when it was, and everything just went smooth.
Yeah. It says here the roots of Pulp Fiction can be traced back to the late 1980s when Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avary worked together at Video Archives, a video store in Southern California. Avary recalls that their initial concept was to create 3 short films with 3 different filmmakers, himself, Tarantino, and friend Adam Rifkin. Avery wrote the first element of what would become the film's screenplay in the fall of 1990, titled Pandemonium Reigns, which eventually expanded into feature-length screenplay. While Tarantino's short film similarly involved a full script, Rifkin never completed his contribution, leaving Pulp Fiction initially uncertain. The initial inspiration was the 3-part horror anthology film Black Sabbath by Italian filmmaker Mario Bava. The Tarantino Avery project was provisionally titled Black Mask after the seminal hard-boiled crime fiction magazine. Tarantino's script was produced as Reservoir Dogs. His directorial debut was produced as Reservoir Dogs' his directorial debut. Avery created the basis for the Gold Watch storyline of Pulp Fiction. With work on Reservoir Dogs completed, Tarantino returned to the notion of a trilogy film. He said, I got the idea of doing something that novelists get a chance to do, but filmmakers don't. Telling 3 separate stories, having characters float in and out with different weights depending on the story. Tarantino explains that the idea was basically to take like the oldest chestnuts that you've ever seen when it comes to crime stories, the oldest stories in the book, Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife, the oldest story about the guy's got to go out with the big man's wife and don't touch her. You've seen the story a zillion times. I'm using old forms of storytelling and then purposely having them run awry, he says. Part of the trick is to take these movie characters, these genre characters, and these genre situations and actually apply them to some of real life's rules and see how they unravel. In at least one case, boxer Butch Coolidge, Tarantino had in mind a specific character from a classic Hollywood crime story. I wanted him to basically be like Ralph Meeker as Mike Hammer in Aldrich's Kiss Me Deadly. I wanted him to be a bully and a jerk. Tarantino went on to work on the script for Pulp Fiction in Amsterdam in March of 92, possibly at the Winston Hotel in the Red Light District. He was joined there by Avery, who contributed Pandemonium Reigns to the project and participated in its rewriting, as well as the development of the new storylines that would link it up.
Hey, Matt, I got to ask you. So the bar scene where Vincent Vega meets Butch, right? And they have their little dialogue trade.
Yeah.
If that wouldn't have been headed off at the pass, in your opinion, who do you think comes out on top in that exchange? If it went to,
we got the blows, Butch.
Yeah, Butch.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I got the feeling that
think Vince would have shot him.
I don't know. I got the feeling that they knew each other.
Because I didn't get that. I didn't get that feeling.
But he knew he was a boxer,
Well,
because
yeah,
you heard
Vincent
what I
Vega may
said,
have
Palooka.
known of him because he's a boxer.
You
he
think
would
maybe
know
like
of him.
you think maybe Vincent had lost money betting on him to win or
I don't
something?
know, but he did know who he was because he's like, you heard me, Punchy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's interesting.
I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just that's something I always thought about. I wonder who would have came out on top if they didn't stop them two
well, if
from.
he'd had his gun when he was sitting on the John, you never know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Uh, see, it says the adrenaline scene was inspired by Martin Scorsese's documentary American Boy, a profile of Stephen Prince about taxi driver actor Stephen Prince, who played arms dealer Easy Andy in the film. Prince recalls injecting adrenaline into the heart of a woman who overdosed with the help of a medical dictionary and a magic marker. I did not know that. The Tarantino and his producer Lawrence Bender brought the script to Jersey Films before even seeing Reservoir Dogs. Jersey had attempted to sign Tarantino for his next project. Ultimately, a development deal worth around $1 million had been struck. The deal gave a band apart Bender and Tarantino's newly formed production company initial financing and box office facilities. Jersey got a share of the project and the right to shop script to a studio. Jersey had a distribution and first look deal with Columbia's TriStar, which paid Tarantino for the right to consider exercising its option. Well, it shows you how convoluted and complicated Hollywood could be. In February, Pulp Fiction appeared on a variety list of films in pre-production at TriStar. In June, however, the studio put the script into turnaround. According to a studio executive, TriStar, and what is turnaround? I got to figure that out. In filmmaking, turnaround is the use of outside assistance to resolve problems preventing a film product from completing its development phase and entering the pre-production phase. A project's
funding.
development phase is said to be in development hell. According to a studio executive at TriStar, Chief
What's up, Jay?
Mike DeVoe found it too demented. There were suggestions that TriStar was resistant to back a film featuring a heroin user. There were also indications that the studio simply saw the product as too low budget for its desired star-driven image. Avery, who was about to start shooting his own directorial debut, Killing Zoe, which, by the way, if you've not seen that movie, it stars Eric Stoltz, very good movie. He plays a safecracker in France, has said that TriStar's objections were comprehensive, encompassing the script's fundamental structure. He characterized the studio's position: "This is the worst thing ever written. It makes no sense. Someone's dead and then they're alive. It's too long, violent, and unfilmable." So I thought, that's that. Bender brought the script to Miramax, a former independent studio that had recently been acquired by Disney, and Harvey the Creep Weinstein. I'm going to keep saying that every time I have to say his name. Co-chairman of Miramax Films, along with his brother Bob, who was a facilitator of this creep, was instantly enthralled by the process, saying only Harvey the Diddler Weinstein placed a bid. Harvey the Diddler believed he was engaged in a bidding war, but he wasn't. Even now, whenever I see Bob Shea, he expresses regret for turning down Pulp Fiction. Tarantino initially wanted to collaborate with Mike Madovey, given Madovy's history with the Great Onion films. Ironically, when the opportunity arose, Mike deemed the script to be too violent. Danny
You can
DeVito was one of
imagine
the
the
film's
regret that guy feels for turning that down, thinking
yeah.
it's man. Oh man.
Danny DeVito, one of the film's executive producers, recalls that Diddler Weinstein suggested casting Daniel Day-Lewis, who had just won an Academy Award for My Left Foot. DeVito responded by stating that Tarantino wanted John Travolta and reminded Weinstein the Diddler that he had finally cut and cast approval. He had final cut and cast approval. He later reflected, "I think that the Diddler called me every name in the book." Of course he did, because he was a scumbag. But of course, Quentin got what he wanted, and he was absolutely right, and the rest is history. Bender noted that during the casting process, while Samuel L. Jackson's initial audition was impressive, another candidate later delivered a performance that blew them away. This prompted Bender to inform Jackson's agent they might need to consider the other actor. The agent firmly insisted, no, you can't do that. Sam will come back. Initially hesitant to ask him for another audition, Bender discovered that Jackson believed he was simply reading for the role, not auditioning, and his subsequent return resulted in an outstanding performance. Tim Roth initially was interested in the role, meant for Bruce Willis. Suggested Amanda Plummer as a co-star, so she should have a gun, as he thought it would be terrifying if Amanda Plummer had a gun. A notion Tarantino later incorporated into the script. Harvey Keitel played a crucial role in getting Reservoir Dogs made, and he introduced Bruce Willis to Quentin Tarantino. Bender and Tarantino went to see him at his house in Malibu, where they learned that he could recite practically the entire movie of Reservoir Dogs, a movie he had loved. After a conversation, Tarantino and Willis took a walk on the beach, where Willis revealed he'd read the Pulp Fiction script and expressed interest in playing Vincent or Jules. Tarantino encouraged him to read the script one last time with the Butch character in mind. Willis called Tarantino the next day and said, "The shortest sentence in the Bible is Jesus wept. The shortest sentence in Hollywood is I'm in." Principal photography commenced on September 20, 1993. The lead off-screen talent had worked with Tarantino on Reservoir Dogs. Cinematographer Andres Sekula, film editor Sally Menke, producer designer David Wasco, and costume designer Betsy Hyman. According to Tarantino, "We had $8 million. I wanted it to look like a $20 to $25 million movie. I wanted it to look like an epic. It's an epic in everything, in invention, in ambition, in length, in scope, in everything except the price tag." The film, he says, was shot on 50 ASA film stock, which is the slowest stock they make. But the reason we use it is that it creates an almost no-grain image. It's lustrous. It's the closest thing we have to 1950s Technicolor. The largest chunk of the budget is $150,000. It went to creating the Jackrabbit Slim set. It was built in Culver City, California warehouse, where it was joined by several other sets, as well as the film's production offices. The diner sequences were shot on location in Hawthorne at the Hawthorne Grill, known for its googie architecture. For the costumes, Tarantino took his inspiration from French director Jean-Pierre Melville, who believed that the clothes his characters wore were their symbolic suits of armor. Tarantino cast himself in a modest-sized role, as he had in Reservoir Dogs. One of his pop totems, Fruit Brute, a long discontinued General Mills cereal, also returned from the earlier film. The shoot wrapped on November 30th before Pulp Fiction's premiere. Tarantino convinced Avery to forfeit his agreed-on co-writing credit and accept a story by credit, so the line written and directed by Quentin Tarantino could be used in the advertising and on screen. There is no film score for this movie. Quentin Tarantino insisted he used an eclectic assortment of surf music, rock and roll, soul, and pop songs. Dick Dale's rendition of Monsieur Lou plays during the opening credits. Tarantino chose surf music as the basic music style for the film, but not. He insists because of its association with surfing culture. To me, it just sounds like rock and roll. Even Morricone music, it sounds like rock and roll. Spaghetti Western music. Tarantino planned to use power pop song My Sharona by the Knack during the film's R scene, SA scene, but ultimately discounted it. Thank God, that would have been really creepy. Some of the songs were suggested to Tarantino by his friends Chuck Keeley and Laura Lovelace, who were credited as music consultants. Lovelace also appeared in the film as Laura, a waitress. Oh, she's the one that said garçon means boy. Okay. The soundtrack film was released along with the film in 1994. The album peaked on the Billboard 200 chart at 21. The single Urge Overkill's cover of Neil Diamond's Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon reached number 59. Pulp Fiction premiered on May 1994 at the Cannes Film Festival. The Diddlers, or Weinsteins, whatever you want to call the bastards, hit the beach like commandos, bringing the picture and entire cast over to France. The film was unveiled at midnight hour screening and caused a sensation. It won the Palme d'Or, the festival's top prize, generating a further wave of publicity. It also won some Academy Awards, and I'm tired of reading that, so we're done. Right. And we got some comments here. Sorry. Yeah, you know what? I was saying that when I was watching it. Man, wouldn't it be cool if there was a real Jackrabbit Slims? Yeah, all the music in this movie is great. And it's like some songs, some very deep cuts. Like when I think of Chuck Berry, I don't think of that song You Never Can Tell. You think
That's
of like
a great
Johnny
song.
Good which is like
Go
great.
to show them never can tell.
But he was great at all that. Like Reservoir Dogs soundtrack was great. Jackie Brown, the Kill Bill movies, all of them. Even Deadly. We call them the Hateful Eight.
Aaron Neville did a great cover of Never Can Tell. I think that's the name of the song. Yeah.
Well, somebody had a private chat here. What's going on here?
Oh, I just wanted to. I'm gonna have to duck out around 10:20, 10:30. I was asking the youth at school.
We're gonna put some quick.
I can send them the link if you want. I don't know if they're available.
Some of our panelists might have to. Who is?
Lost your audio. You're muted. We lost your audio, Matt. You're muted.
I think he knows.
Okay. There you go. You're back.
All right. Anyway, we're going to play some clips of the movie. All right. I'll start down at the bottom where I got. Well, unfortunately, they're not in order like I was hoping they were. Shit. Anyway, I don't like the way they've laid this out now. This is one of my favorite like little lines in the movies, like when they're in the diner and Tim Roth's pointing a gun at Sam Jackson. I just love what he says. Like he's just so unbothered by it.
Hit him in the face.
I hate to shatter your ego, but this ain't the first time I've had a gun pointed at me.
You don't take your fucking end off that case, it'll be your last.
Stop causing problems.
He's like, I hate to bruise your ego or shatter your ego, but it's not the first time I had a gun pointed at me. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the dialogue in this movie is so sharp, right? It's just on point the whole time. Like there's no like, you're not like, at any point, you're not like, this dialogue's not bad. Or, you know, sometimes a tendency when you got a lot of like dialogue, at some point it's going to be boring, but it never got boring. Here's another one. This is, where he's talking about where Jules is going to give that guy $1,500. He's like, you give this guy $1,500, I'm going to shoot him on general principle.
Little score.
Jules, you give that fucking Nimrod $1,500 and I'll shoot him on general principle.
No, Yolanda!
And another scene I like is like, this is like the second time you hear this Bible verse. Although if you read the actual Bible verse of Ezekiel 25:17, Tarantino kind of rewrote it. And he said it was kind of weird rewriting the Bible. But the way he does it is just like great. Like he's telling him, like, well, you'll see.
And then destroy my brothers. And you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. I've been saying that shit for years. And if you...
And then we'll play this because it goes along with that scene.
Now, whether or not what we experienced was an according to Hoyle...
They get the scene where the guy shoots out. But like what I like about him is when he tells him that, he goes, usually when you heard that, it meant your ass. But he says, I've been thinking about it. He says, and he tells him, he says, it'd be nice if I was the shepherd and you were the right. He says, the truth is, you are the weak. And I am the tyranny of evil men.
Evil men.
But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. I just love that part. Because he's like,
be cool, Yolanda. Be cool, Yolanda.
Yeah, he's like, I want to, because he's like, I want to kill this fucker so bad. He's fucking with my day. But I just had this, and they, you know, because they got out of there, that guy pulls out a damn dirty, hairy hand cannon and it fires at him like point blank range. Just empties the whole
Empties
gun. It doesn't hit anything. And they're all like, and then like, you notice what's interesting about that too is Jules kind of scoffed at it and said, "No, man, it's just that shit kind of happens, you know, like you got to like that." But Jules saw it as a
Vincent Vega saw it as a,
and he said, "This is my last job." He told him, so that's his last job. But Travolta didn't heed the warning, and you see what happened to him. He gets shot on the John reading a book. So
yep.
But here's where Samuel Jackson's character is talking about
On
that.
merit. Now, whether or not what we experienced was an according to Hoyle miracle is insignificant. But what is significant is I felt the touch of God. God got involved.
God got involved. And here's the scene he's talking about. Why? Now, if this happened to me and you, Jeff, or me and you, Will, I would believe in God for sure if I didn't.
If I was you.
Jerry Seinfeld looking motherfucker.
I know. How does he miss it? Well, because I guess he just comes out and does what my dad said they used to do in a firefight in Vietnam. Spray and pray.
Spray and pray.
If he had went like this, he had him off guard. If he just went like and like took his time, he just wanted to come out there like kind of like, you know, when guys get in a fight outside a club or something, and one guy will charge out with his head down, you know.
Yeah, when it comes to combat shooting, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
And maybe instead of like yelling when you run out of the room, like maybe have your back to the wall and come back around, you know, so you still have a little bit of cover, and then start firing. But you know, whatever. It's a funny scene, actually. You know, there's like stuff in here. These guys are getting shot and stuff, and it's like you can't help but kind of have it like when he's doing that part in there, and he's like, "What does Marcellus look like?" And the guy's like, "What?" He goes, "Say what one more time. I double dare you. I double dog dare you." You know, and you're like, I mean,
what?
And then I know it's not funny. It's not supposed to be funny, but it kind of, I don't know. Am I crazy or is it? It's kind of.
No, it's funny.
It's funny
like,
because it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
it's his delivery. He knows he's going to waste everybody in that room. He's just being him and having fun with it because he's a psychopath.
Yeah, he's a man that loves his job, right? And then before he has a pit. Now, let's just see, like, this is the first time we see Marcellus Wallace and Bruce Willis, and he's telling him to take a dive. And, like, the way Marcellus is talking to him, he's trying to, like, intimidate him and plunk him out. Like, he's like, you know, you were pretty good back in your day as a boxer, but, like, you know, he's basically telling him, you know, you almost made it, but if you were going to make it, you would have made it a long time ago.
I think he's trying to give him a subtle warning.
Yeah.
That don't let your pride get you killed. Hey, I got to dip out, guys. I had a prior appointment. I give it 2 thumbs up. Great movie. I love you guys.
I love you, man. Bye, Jeff. And we got some more clips here, Will. We'll get out of here.
You came close, but you never made it. And if you were going to make it, you would have made it before now.
He's just standing there.
I like where he says, the night of the fight, you might have a slight steam.
Yep.
That's pride fucking with you. Fuck pride. It only hurts.
Yep.
It never helps. And you know how, Will, he tells him in the 5th your ass goes down, right? And he makes him say it back to him because he's trying to tell him, like, you don't go down, we're going to kill you, you know. But Bruce Willis had his own ideas. Yeah, the gimp is what will wake him up. I'll tell you what's in the suitcase. We talked about this earlier. I think his first theory is that it's the code, the password, or the combination lock on it, George, is 666. A lot of people say that Marcellus Wallace's soul is in that briefcase, and the reason he's got a big band-aid on the back of his neck is because that's where his soul was taken out, was out of his neck. I don't know, but oh yeah, some people just can't shoot. You got to like take your time and aim, especially when you got if you got like a 357 Magnum or a 44 Magnum, which is a big slug comes out of that thing. You got to like just like, you know, the old saying, aim small, miss small. You got to go right here, center mass. But let's not talk about shooting people because I don't want to shoot nobody. Yeah, I like that part where it's like, he goes, get my wallet out of that bag. He goes, which one is it? It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it. Hey, Comic Chef, how you doing?
Hey, Chef.
It's a great movie, yeah. I like your avatar, by the way. Kryptonite, or they get Kryptonite to go fight Superman next. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Who knows? We got another scene here. This is where Bruce Willis gets in the cab of the Esmeralda character. she's a cab driver. She's a, what does your name mean? He goes, because his name's Butch. He goes, well, here, you'll see what he says.
And what is your name?
Butch.
Butch. What does it mean?
I'm an American, honey. Our names don't mean shit.
American, honey, our names don't mean shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I always thought Comic Shepherd was the soul. I don't know. It could be maybe they got Batman's bat utility belt in there or something. I don't know. I also like this part where like they go up to Jack Rabbit Slim's.
The fuck is this place?
This is Jack Rabbit Slim's. An Elvis man should love it.
Come on, man, let's go get a steak.
You can get a steak here, Daddy-O. Don't be a...
Be a square. Don't be a square.
And here's the, I think George was alluding to this scene a minute ago.
Well, bring out the gimp. I think the gimp's sleeping. Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
Yeah, that's such a creepy scene too, Will. You know what I mean? Like when the gimp comes out and you see him in this black leather with a black mat, you're like, oh no, don't tell me they're going to do that. I was like, oh no.
It's 30 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
I like that too, because like Harvey Keitel's like, I'll be there in 10. It's like 9 minutes and 58 seconds later, he pulls up in that big, and it's an Acura, those Acuras he's got it at. It's an NSX, badass car.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I didn't at first, like, I was like, what are they going to do? And then it becomes evident when Bruce Willis walks down the stairs with that samurai sword. You're like, oh my God. And like, yeah, it makes me like, you go, night, night, keep your butthole tight. You got these two hillbilly dudes in there, like cornholing people. Yeah, it was like really, but it's like kind of like, I think it was like so horrible because he knew what they were doing down there when he got loose. You know, he said, man, even if I hate him, I can't leave that guy down there to that fate. That's just too fucked up. So he goes back down there. And, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. And it kind of like, you know, interesting. You didn't see it going that way because you think, well, he's going to kill him no matter what. But like, he saved his life. So he's like, all right. We got some other, this one here, I can't play all of it. We'll play a little bit of it.
There's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man.
I can't play it all, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but Bruce Willis, then he gets out and him being arranged part ways. He's like, don't tell nobody about this, but when you're gone, stay gone. You lost your LA privileges. And but then he pulls up on the bike and his girlfriend asks him, where'd you get the bike at?
Gotta go, come on.
Whose motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby.
Whose chopper is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
And we got a few more clips. I wish they were in order, but we'll play it.
I think it's like a wax museum with a pulse.
Hi, I'm Buddy. What can I get you?
You see Steve Buscemi and Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
I think it's another. I don't know what the clip is.
Are you talking to me on a cellular phone?
We're trying to set them up, but
I don't know you. Who is this? Don't
Did he
come
play
here
it?
and hang
Oh,
up
there
the
you
phone. Prank caller, prank caller.
you got to bring the needle down like this. He goes like this right here. He goes, I got to stab her 3 times. He goes, no. You got to bring it down once. He's like, and he tells the girl, I need a magic marker. And then here's another. I think it's the scene where he runs into Marcellus at the crosswalk.
Shit, of all the fucking things she can fucking forget, she forgets my father's watch. I specifically reminded her. Bedside table, on the kangaroo.
Another scene is the Christopher Walken scene. He's only in the movie for one scene, right? And he's talking about like his dad's gold watch he carried in Vietnam, which was his grandfather's watch, his great grandfather's watch, and then he explains what his dad had to do to keep it, and then like that's just crazy.
The way your dad looked at it, this watch was your birthright. You'd be damned if any slope's gonna put the greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright. So he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass. 5 long years he wore this watch.
Long years he kept.
By the way, it mutes you after the clip, so sometimes I don't hear it.
Oh, well, anyway, he's talking about like your dad wore this watch up his ass for 5 years, and then he died of dysentery. And if you know what dysentery is, it means he died.
Yeah, I know what dysentery is.
And and then like he says, then I kept this. I stuck it up my ass and kept it there for 2 years. I had this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass for 2 years. And it's like, God, you don't want to laugh at it, but it's kind of funny. Like that. Here's we were talking about earlier with the where he's like calling him Palooka, that Bruce Willis and Travolta have this interaction.
You looking at something, friend?
You ain't my friend, Palooka.
What's that?
I think you heard me just fine, Punchy.
And here's where she gets out of the OD in here with the adrenaline.
If you're all right, then say something.
Something.
And I got a couple more clips. We'll just play them.
You can use my straw. I don't have cooties.
Yeah, but maybe I do.
Cooties I can handle.
All right.
Cooties.
Walk out the door, get in the car, go home, jerk off, and that's all you're gonna do.
And the final scene was like where Bruce Willis and Ving Rhames part ways. I can't play it all because he asked him if he's okay. He's like, no, I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Okay.
Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
You know, he tells the guy, he goes, I'm going to get medieval on your ass. Yeah, she does. Like, and also, like, you know what's funny about that scene, though, where he's like, she tells him she forgot the watch. And he's like, it's okay. Get your breakfast. Here's some money. And he acts like he's all calm. And he goes to the car and goes, oh, the fucking thing she forgets. She forgets the fucking watch. Yep. Yeah, she seemed like I don't know. She seemed a little naive, too, about the whole situation they were in. But I don't know. I mean, I really like this movie. It's a good time. It's probably my favorite movie. I was trying to think how many times I watched this movie, Will. I must have seen it at least 50 times. Oh, yeah. Kickstart My Heart. Yeah. Well, Nikki Sixx knew all about that Kickstart My Heart thing because they know firsthand what that adrenaline does. Now they have something called Narcan they usually use. But, yeah, back then they used adrenaline. They still use it for situations, but most of the time, if it's a drug overdose situation, they use what they call Narcan now. But anyway, it's been a fun show. I'm going to give it, Will, what do you think of the movie?
It's a classic. I give it a 4 out of 5.
All right. I give it a 5 out of 5, 2 thumbs up, all the way up. It's probably my favorite movie. It's definitely my favorite movie of the 90s. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I've seen that movie. It's kind of like got a different, it's kind of like that. It's like a film noir or like pulp novel type feel to that too.
Yep.
And George says they did Vinnie Vega wrong on the can. 5 of 5.
Yep.
Yeah, there is. I've seen that movie, and it's also got I think a boxer in it too, doesn't it? I can't remember. But anyway, before we go, I do want to share that what's coming up on the show tonight. We have the Comic Lounge.
Yep, I'll be there on time.
All right. I don't know how long we're going to do it tonight, but because it's kind of hectic around here. I've been moving, packing stuff up all last night.
If you want me to host it, let me know.
I mean, I'll still be doing it, but that'll be at 7 p.m. Also, we got coming up on Sunday. We have the Sunday Super Show Extravaganza, and I'll be doing my 500 subscriber giveaway. I'll be giving away a comic book signed by Jenny Prison. And then Monday at noon at 12:30 Eastern, 12:30 Eastern on Monday, another episode of Bad Cinema. And we're going to be doing the Roger Corman film Monday at 12:30. It's called Star Crash. It is a complete and utter ripoff of Star Wars that came out in 1978, and it also stars a young David Hasselhoff. And then Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Comic Conversations, and my special guest will be the 757 Hustle Show. And then we jump ahead to next Thursday for Good Cinema, and I can now reveal next week's what next week's Good Cinema film will be. It will be the 1986 film Aliens, directed by James Cameron, starring Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, and Bill Paxton, and Lance Henderson. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's Hasselhoff in space.
Yeah.
It could be an all-outer. You never know. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Give me a thumbs up. Like the video. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But as Uncle Stan used to always say, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.